What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Anthony and this is Watch With Me, and this is the 5th time I'm trying to record this damn video. Today we're going to be talking about what I would consider an extremely undervalued brand on the market right now. The reason why I'm saying they're undervalued is because they make very iconic watches that, in my opinion, are some of the best designs in the watch industry, and you can find them in any retail space. They usually can be purchased under retail value, and that's why I'm making this video. Of course, a wristwatch check. Today I am wearing my Rolex Submariner. This is a transitional model from 1987, only made for 9 months. And let's face it, you can't find a new one in any retail space, so why not go vintage, which is what I did. Enough of my watch, let's get into today's topic. So the brand I'm talking about is Omega. Now, Omega has been around since the 1800s, although not named Omega until later on, but they are responsible for some very iconic watches. Today we're going to be talking about 2 of them. Obviously, we know we're going to be talking about the Speedmaster, but we're also going to be talking about the Seamaster. Now, I work in the watch industry, and I often see people coming in asking for the Daytona, the Submariner, and other pieces that are just unobtainable right now due to just supply. My salespeople are tasked with having to show them different brands that perhaps they didn't think of, or different models that are alternatives to these watches, and I often tell them the Omega Speedmaster and the Omega Seamaster 300 are 2 of the best watch designs that have ever been created. Now, the Seamaster originally came out in 1957. This particular piece was, I believe, introduced for the last James Bond film, but we're going to be talking about the current one, which is this 41mm, absolutely beautiful sandwich dial with the aged superluminova, no date, ceramic bezel, anti-magnetic coaxial movement. This watch fits the wrist so well. It has the perfect combination of high polished and brushed, which makes it work in any situation, whether you're in a suit or in a swimsuit. This watch, not only is it extremely reliable because of its movement, which, thanks to George Daniels, arguably one of the greatest watchmakers to ever live, designed the coaxial escapement, which was adopted by Omega. This watch just fits the proportion of my wrist perfectly. At 41mm, it is 1mm larger than a Rolex Submariner, but because of the thinness of the lugs, I think it fits even better. It's very thin, and you're getting an exhibition case back, so you're getting to see the beautifully decorated movement. This watch is $6,800, but I've seen it pre-owned under $4,000. I think it is the perfect alternative to the Rolex Submariner, and I really think it's an even better design. You can even go further back and pick up a vintage piece so much cheaper than you can pick up a vintage Submariner. So I think it's the perfect alternative, an undervalued watch, and if you haven't tried it on yet, please do so. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think of the watch. I'm in love with it. I'm thinking about purchasing it. It's just a stunning piece. The other piece we're going to talk about is obviously the Omega Speedmaster. The Speedmaster is what I would consider one of the best designs ever to go through the watch industry. At 42mm, it would typically be a larger watch that I would care to wear, but I think its proportions, its styling is perfect. Not to mention, this watch was originally made for racing, so it has the tachometer on it, which makes it super cool in my opinion. But it also, if you tie in its history with NASA, being on the moon, helping save astronauts' lives on the Apollo 13 mission, it's a no-brainer. This watch should be a $10,000 watch, and yet you can still get them brand new for around $6,000. It boggles my mind. Even if you're going vintage and getting a real Speedmaster from the 60s, it's going to be thousands and thousands of dollars less than a vintage Daytona. It's the perfect alternative to the Rolex Daytona. It's more important in our history. It's more important in terms of the watch industry. And it's a very iconic design that for some reason just doesn't sell for a premium. And yet you can be in a room filled with collectors that have watches that cost hundreds of thousands of dollars, and you can have a Speedmaster on your wrist and you will get that much respect because it is such an amazing watch design. I've owned one in the past. I've let it go. The great thing about this watch is that they trade hands quite often, and you can pick them up pre-owned for in the $3,000 range. You can even go with a vintage one under $5,000 in good shape. So those are going to be my 2 alternatives to very hard to come by watches. meaning the Rolex Daytona and the Rolex Submariner, and that's why I think this brand is so undervalued. They do make around 600,000 watches per year, perhaps a bit more, maybe even closer to 800,000, where Rolex is making 1 million, but you're getting an extremely long warranty, just like Rolex. You're getting a very reliable movement that's not only meeting or exceeding the standards of the COSC, meaning the certified chronometer, -4 + 6 seconds per day, but you're also getting an anti-magnetic movement now. Now, I don't know if you know, most watches can get magnetized, whether it's a cell phone, a metal detector, or just walking about your day. Now, the new Omega movements are 15,000 Gauss proof, so you're really not going to have to worry about that anymore. And again, I keep harping back on this. You can find these watches in any one of these stores. So that's going to be just a quick kind of a short video for you guys of just 2 watches that while I was in the store and I was telling my guys about these 2 particular watches and how special I think they are, I said, you know what, maybe some of you that aren't as watch savvy as some of the other people that watch this video, go look at these 2 watches. Maybe you're sitting home and you're like, you know what, I want a Rolex Daytona or I want a Submariner and I can't get one. For the price of a Daytona, you can have both these watches I talked about and some extra money to go on vacation. And I think they're spectacular watches. So that's really it, guys. A shorter video. I'm sorry I haven't been posting as much. I've been doing a lot of work for my other channel, which is the Watch With Us YouTube page. We have almost 1,500 subscribers on that page. We have a lot of different collaborators that are putting out content. So I've been focusing on that, but I'm still going to be obviously doing my own channel. I'm also going to be doing some other content on here, whether it be cars, cigars, fashion, things like that. But do me a favor, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Let me know you are enjoying the content, and until next time, guys.